Hallo allemaal en welkom bij mijn kanaal. Mijn naam is Darren en dit jaar 2024 leer ik Nederlands. Zo, zondag de 10e maart was het 70ste dag van mijn jaardagelijkse Nederlandse studie. En omdat we op vakantie waren in Tenerife, ik had geen tijd om een nieuwe video te maken voor de 60ste dag. Maar in principe er is niet veranderd in de afgelopen 20 dagen. Ik blijf gewoon studeren en leren. En eerlijk gezegd, er is niet spannend om over te praten. So fine. So, normally I like to make two types of videos on this channel, progress or process, but in this case, today I've decided to kind of combine the two because honestly, right now I have so much going on that I don't have a lot of time to invest in making new videos. I do want to keep a sort of regular flow of videos, but not to the detriment of why this channel exists in the first place, which is studying Dutch, that I need to keep in focus. In the last video, I talked about the importance of writing as a way to improve one's language skills, and as opposed to speaking, for example. And different people have different opinions about when one should start speaking when learning a new language. Some people say start from day one, and other people say just wait 3, 4, 6 months until you've built up some kind of usable, functional vocabulary. I kind of think I fall somewhere in the middle in that I'm so excited when I start a new language that I find it fun and funny to try to speak to people and at least have simple, that is very, very simple conversations in a new language. Although from a practical standpoint, I know full well that it's going to be months before I can start really speaking. I don't think you can reasonably expect anyone to start speaking a new language after only 70 days of relatively minimal study. So this is why I think writing is such an interesting tool. You are allowed to slow down and take your time and choose your words and look up words like I do, for example, when I'm writing scripts for these videos. And you don't have to worry about feeling flustered or nervous while standing face to face with someone who is waiting for you to complete a basic thought. There is another benefit of writing that I didn't consider so much before, although it's obvious, and that is writing as a way to take you even further in a language. I recently watched a webinar, again, by our friend Luca Lampariello, that was about overcoming the intermediate plateau, in which he discussed the importance of deliberate practice as the way to make progress once you reach a certain level where you might be able to communicate, read, and understand in a new language, but you are staying at this kind of plateau level for months, maybe even years on end. Deliberate practice is the term that he uses for taking you out of that and getting you to kind of a next level, which is an incredibly difficult and time-consuming thing to do. The reason I was thinking so much about that and was so affected by this webinar is that at the end of last year, I spent 4 months with the intention of improving my French. To reach that goal, I chose to speak a lot more regularly, daily, and I listened to a ton of French podcasts every day. I watched French TV and movies. I read books in French for 4 months. And the net result of all that was that there's basically no visible improvement in my ability to communicate in French. This is the point that Luca stressed in the webinar, which is that Even a lot of speaking and listening and even reading in a second language will not necessarily guarantee improvement in that language. What is necessary is this deliberate practice. And what that looks like, well, it can take many forms, obviously. The form that this will take for me will be writing. I'm choosing to emphasize writing, and not only writing, but receiving corrections and feedback either from my buddy ChatGPT or actual live humans. And what I hope to do is make the writing part of my deliberate language practice the non-negotiable daily activity that I engage in. I will, of course, make future videos to update you on my progress and how this is all going and how I feel it is working or not working and what changes I might have to make. But for now, I actually need to get back to it. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Hartelijk bedankt voor het kijken. En tot in de volgende video.